You already know what time it is. Everybody's sleeping.
Hola! Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be taking you through my entire fitness journey. I am going to give you all the itty bitty gritty details. I'm going to try to because this is a 10-year journey to be exact. So I'm going to take you through it all because the last time I did this was a few years ago and I think it needs a little update. We need a little bit more info for my new people here on YouTube. Okay, girlfriend. So this whole thing starts back in 2015, 10 years ago. I was 15 years old. It was the first time that I noticed that my body was looking a little bit different, that I looked a little bit different than my peers, or I just observed other people's bodies. I was really aware of that, and I was aware that I didn't like the way that I looked. It was more my stomach, and I remember putting on this one pair of jeans and I was just spilling out of them. I was like, what? That was my first progress photo that I took, and I took a couple more after that. And it was also the first time that I weighed myself, and I knew I wanted to change, so I started doing those like 30-day ab challenges, and it was like random workouts every day for 30 days and you'd get abs by the end, but we know how that turned out. At that same time, I was playing rep soccer, and it was also the first time that I was introduced to a gym because of my parents, and actually because of soccer, because they wanted me to get fit and be able to play 90-minute games to last, to improve my endurance, because I was not. My coaches said I was not. My parents knew I was not capable to run for that long. So I joined their gym. I got taken on those like teen tour things where they show you how to use the machines and safety and all that. And my first day, my first experience was so scary. I was like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. It was so intimidating seeing everybody else. You feel like they all know what they're doing, and then you're just in there. I tried to run. I tried to do the Stairmaster. I did not like it one bit. It was scary. I was lazy. I would cheat my way through. I would skip my cardio that I was supposed to do to get fitter. My parents would find out that I was skipping my cardio that I was supposed to be doing. So they would get a little bit upset, and they said, if you're not gonna be doing it, you're not gonna go, then we're just gonna cancel the membership. Like, honestly, it's like if you don't want to put in the work, then you don't want to improve for soccer. So they still kept paying for my membership, and it was at that same time that I started to realize that being in the gym could also translate to transforming my body or changing my body. And then going into 2016 was when I started to find those YouTube fitness influencers, and that's where I started to find glute workouts, upper body workouts. 2016 to 2017 was the years that I kind of realized that I liked going to the gym. I still didn't like doing cardio, and I didn't really do it, but I had this love for weight training. I still didn't have the discipline to keep going or the consistency. I was going about once a month, and then I would go once a week, maybe twice a week, and then I wouldn't do anything for another 2 weeks, and then I'd go again for 3 times in the week, and then never again until 2 months later. And this cycle continued for another couple years. I kept finding more and more fitness influencers that were showing their transformation from no glutes to huge glutes. Their advice was that they lifted a lot of weights, they started lifting heavy weights, progressive overload, and they had like 8 lower body exercises in one session, 100 reps of everything. No tea, no shade. I loved doing those workouts, and I loved the people that I followed, and I continued to do no cardio because that was their advice. They started off doing only cardio and too much cardio, so they stopped doing cardio, only lifted weights. So I decided to do that, but I learned that we were not the same. They were wanting to go from no muscle mass to huge muscle mass, but mine was, I had some muscle mass, but it was more fat loss that I was looking for. We had opposite goals. So then 2018 rolls around. I'm about to go into college. I was training so much in the summer. I had so much soccer training with my college team. This is where I had, I would say, my first high of my fitness. It was the first time that I really wanted something to work out. I did really want to improve my soccer skills and my fitness so that I could play. And I think I did. I did improve and I was doing very well. The season's about to start and I pulled my hamstring. But right before that, like I just felt so good about myself. I loved the way that my body looked. I had this spark of motivation and then it was just taken away. Couldn't do anything for about 6 weeks and obviously I couldn't play any games. We went down on the roller coaster that I was telling you about. We did an upside down loop. People know about something called the freshman 15. This was when I was going into the 2019 season, which was my worst, my lowest probably of lows with my eating. College really flipped me upside down because I all of a sudden had this different type of freedom, was participating in a lot of activities that just were not it. The parties, the drinking, buying unnecessary amounts of food. Like I was eating Tim Hortons muffins and wraps and Timbits every single day and I started gaining weight and I kind of lost that spark improving my soccer skills because being out for so long with the injury, it just kept bugging me and I just kind of started to let go. 2019 to 2020 was probably the worst, the lowest for me mentally and physically, as we know what happened in 2020. So yeah, when 2020 hit, I dropped the Good Life gym because everything was shut down. And that's when I got to my highest weight of 150. This is the rudest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's always snowing. What are we doing? I just had to drop Louis to his grooming appointment. This is where the big shift comes. Okay, it was late 2020 to 2021 was where I finally decided. I sat down, I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, you are going to achieve everything you wanted to achieve. You are not going to give up. You are going to be consistent. Enough is enough. I finally just said no more of this inconsistency, no more. I did it. It started with the at-home workout phase because I couldn't go to a gym. I had to work out at home. I had no choice but to do it at home, whether it was in my room, in the basement, in the living room. My dad bought some weights. He bought a bike. I bought a bench, I think, a bunch of equipment. I had no excuse. Everything was right there. It started with those Daisy Keach workouts, Chloe Ting, Addison Rae. I was doing a bunch more definitely here on YouTube of active things. I think I ran every day for a week. I just started to fall in love with being active and fitness and all things. That was when I started to finally find that spark again, and then a whole new spark for me. This ultimately was the turning point for me and my lifestyle. And even though at first it was just at-home workouts, everything shutting down ended up being great for me in the sense that it was my breakthrough moment. I finally realized what kind of disordered eating habits I was struggling with, and I started to try to heal that. And yeah, I developed the discipline to show up for myself on a consistent daily basis. I was just so excited to do something each day, whether it was outside, inside, wherever. I've always been an active person, played sports growing up. I never did the extra. I was never the type of person to go on walks every day or just move myself other than what sports I played in school or out of school. That was my most significant change, and it was just as the gyms were starting to open up. I think I lost about 15 pounds through that transformation, just through moving my body daily and exercising. Good morning. It's the next day. You already know what we've got. Actually, I did something different today. I did yogurt, blueberries, and mini chocolate chips with honey. I'm on like day 4 of my period, so sweets are needed. But what are we doing today? Let's talk. So later in 2021 was when I decided to go to a new gym. Wanted to try something new. Membership was cheap. This was my era of I just wanted to try different exercises. I think I tried out bench press for the first time. Really just trying new equipment, wanting to get stronger at certain lifts and learn new skills. And this era coming out of the lockdown just felt like a whole new era of fitness influencers. It was this new wave of upcoming people that were just in the air, and it was almost like a breath of fresh air. It was just health and fitness, and I mean, at least that was my For You page because that's what I was about. You know, so many people were sharing their workouts that had insane results. So I was able to translate that consistency and dedication that I have from the at-home workouts into my new gym era, and I was just so excited to be there. I was going so often. I had my workout split. I was really putting in the work. I discovered that I wanted to get stronger in my back squat. So to continue in 2021 to 2022, I was doing some cardio, but not a lot. I did really start to realize that I needed to follow the people that were going through the same transformation as I wanted to go through. You know, people that were like me, that had bodies like me, built like me, or just even genetically similar. I started to follow their advice. I was trying to get strong. I was trying to build. Oh my gosh, I built my quads like crazy, so much that I never knew that it would affect me in the future. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wait, I have an idea. I have a TikTok idea. Okay, and then it was in this era where I stumbled upon CrossFit. I believe I stumbled upon it in a YouTube video, the actual CrossFit games, and I was like, what is this? This looks really cool. And I was just thinking, what kind of movements were they doing? They had to run, they had to jump, they had to lift heavy, they had to sprint. Like, it was just really cool to me. I had never seen anything like that. And so I did some research and I realized that there were some gyms around me, and I started following some of the athletes, or I just started finding some workouts that I could do in my commercial gym. I would make up my own. And this is when I really started to love cardio. This was the first time where I really challenged myself and I actually didn't want to cheat myself. I was really doing it. It was hard, but I was doing it. I feel like I have a good base, a good foundation of body movement knowledge, and I taught myself how to do cleans, snatch, a few of the different exercises, nothing too crazy. I was really craving it, and I started looking into the gyms and pricing, and it was too expensive, and I didn't want to commit just quite yet because that was a lot of money. We're gonna get to my ultimate CrossFit phase. 2023, my CrossFit phase, I went out on a limb and I decided to sign up for a competition. It was Canny's Games. I didn't know how to do half of the movements. I couldn't even lift the weight. I forced myself essentially to sign up at a box, and I started doing classes. And I told them, this is what I did. I have 30 days. Please help me out. And they did. It was such an amazing gym there. Such amazing people, coaches. It was a really exciting time. I was learning new. It was so brand new for me. I actually had a gym community. In these years, I learned even more things. Like, I was able to do a box jump, finally, handstand push-ups, like lift crazy cleans. But I did a few more competitions. I did a team one, which was UG Games, and then a partner one, which was Bros and Does. So in total, 3 CrossFit competitions. I was getting stronger and fitter. I finally loved to do cardio. I showed up almost every day. I was just ready to hit it. I was ready to work hard. This was the first time in my life that it was ever that intense, especially for conditioning. As I told you, I would always skip conditioning workouts in soccer and on my own. In this time, I actually gained a little bit of weight, which at first I was confused about because I didn't know how everything worked, but I was gaining muscle mass. I was getting stronger. So it made sense. And actually, this was a period of time where I didn't really care that I was kind of back up in weight wise, because I wasn't focusing on the aesthetics. I wasn't focusing on the number, and I really learned that the number on the scale is really just a number sometimes. And while it is a good tool to use to track your progress, it's not the only one. I was really just focusing on my performance. Were my 1 rep maxes improving? Am I able to do more reps? Am I able to run this 800 meter faster? That kind of thing. And I did like the way I looked. I was seeing results, and I was noticing that my upper body was getting a little bit bigger because I felt like I was tearing through a lot of my clothes. I felt like the Hulk. And that's okay. That's okay. Throughout my entire CrossFit journey, I didn't really take any progress photos. I don't have any like standing there body poses. It was strictly performance. And we're done. 2024 took a huge turn, as that was my whole knee situation. If you don't know, if you haven't been watching, for many, many years, I've had Osgood-Schlatter. Is that how you say it? And then I was feeling a lot of pain that was not going away for a pretty long time. And I decided to get it checked out, and turns out I have patellar tendonitis. And then also tight IT band syndrome. So I've been battling a lot of pain. I battled it a lot of 2024. I stopped working out for a bit, and that's when I stopped doing CrossFit. I quit because I was just thinking, if I'm not gonna do this for the rest of my life, it was a lot of money to be honest, and I wasn't able to bring my fullest to the workout classes because I was injured. I took a lot of rest, I lost a passion. I did a little update on this on the channel. But yeah, this was definitely another part of the going down roller coaster moment. I did feel like I lost a lot of progress in my body. It's all in my stomach where I lose last and I gain first. But anyway, that kind of brings us back to this channel because I started vlogging my winter arc era, and that brings us to the current present moment of fitness. Now, the reason why I haven't mentioned food since the worst part of my life is because I would say I healed my poor eating habits back in 2021 to 2022, kind of more the disordered eating habits. Since then, to be honest, I wasn't really prioritizing my nutrition. I really believed I could out-train a poor diet. And to be honest, I kind of did for a little bit. Like, I healed the binging aspect, but I still ate what I wanted and I didn't care about it. More recently is when I realized that no, your nutrition does matter. What you're consuming, what you're putting into your body does matter. And it's a process. I'm still working on it slowly, but I'm definitely prioritizing a lot more protein in my diet and trying to stick to whole nutritious foods. And it's hard. Sometimes it's not like that 100% of the time. I definitely think if I did prioritize nutrition a lot sooner, I would have made progress a lot quicker, a lot more progress without all the trial and error of these 10 years. But yeah, I think once I did start to get that in check is when I started to notice the most body changes. But even to now, I don't track macros or count or am on a strict meal plan. I have my breakfast foods that I really love and I eat them every single day. I really don't know where I'm at with my eating, if I'm in a deficit, a maintenance, or surplus. I would assume maintenance because I'm not noticing I'm gaining or losing. Sorry you guys, I was just filming a supplement unboxing for Instagram and TikTok. We got a little restock. I will always say supplements are not needed in your fitness journey, but it was something that I started taking and took to the next level. Of course, I am affiliated with EHPlabs. I do have a code Tatiana10, but one of each these things took me from this to this. You know, it was a combination of things. They're not necessary, but if you would like, and if you do like to have this kind of thing, you can shop using my code. So you guys, that is gonna be it for today's video. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you want to see from me next. I'm always second guessing what to post on this channel, but I'm just really doing whatever comes to mind, whatever I am passionate about, and just sharing my story, my life, whatever. I just want to say you are so much more than just the way your body looks. But when you spend so much time just feeling very uncomfortable in your own skin, and that was me, I just spent so much time just observing myself and not being fully content, and I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to change that. I do think there's ways that things can go wrong, but finding the things that work best for you, finding the things that you love and enjoy, just love life first and foremost. I'm still working on the whole confidence thing. I'm still working on a lot of things internally that are gonna shine outward. I'm really thankful that there are so many of you who have been a part of this journey from the beginning, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for your support. To end out this video with my classic outro, I hope you have a great day, night, wherever you are, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye!